Hey folks, what I got here is an Acura. I think it's a 2019 ILX, little 4-cylinder. We are going to check the spark plugs on it. All right, I'm showing you how to remove the spark plugs, and if you want, you could change the coils at the same time. I'll show you how that works too. All right, let me place you over here. I'll point you down so you can see. That should be good. All right. Let's put some gloves on so I don't get dirty. But this is the way it works. There was 5 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Got little shoulders on them, so they can only go so far, so you don't tighten them and break them. Once this cover comes off, there's your 4 coils. The plugs, another 10mm bolts to hold the coils in. All right. So now, if you notice, you can take this harness off. This one of the screws was the one for the cover. The other one, you just pull this little tab here, and then this whole harness assembly will come off and flip off to the side if you want to do all 4 at the same time. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you the one. Let's pick one of the ones in the corner here. All right, so that way it could be a little loose. There's a little tab over here. You push this little tab in, and there's a little thing that flops up. Okay, sometimes when they're new or haven't been used in a while, when you push that tab, the lock does not lock. It does not unlock. So what you need is that tiny little screwdriver, and you stick it right underneath that little tab and just lift it up just enough. Do not break the tab, because then it can't lock anymore. All right, so this one, you can hear the little click. See that? Once it clicks, then you know it went past its point. And you could just pry it out a little bit. I'm going to give it a little screwdriver, push it out. All right, there it is. But there's the tab that you're going to push on right here. And you'll notice that if you look at this piece here, it's going to move up and down. Okay, if it's not moving, take a tiny little screwdriver and just lift it up just enough. If you force it, you're going to break it. Then you'll be in more trouble. All right, 10mm bolt takes this coil out. Just spin it all the way out. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. To get the coil out, I like to give it a little wiggle, just to loosen it up a little bit. And if you don't have room to grab it, you could use 2 hands, one underneath here and one underneath the bolt here, and just lift it up and turn it at the same time. There you go. All right, look at the coil. Look for any damages. Little burn marks. You're always going to have some burn marks, but make sure there's no oil on it. If you got oil, that means you need a valve cover gasket. It's leaking into the spark plugs. All right. Now, the spark plug is a special one that most foreign cars use. It's a 14mm socket. All right. So I'm going to stick that right in there, straight down. So you grab it, 14mm. Okay, there you go. Once you spin it loose, it should come right out. So we're going to spin this off over here. All right, so here we go. We're going to take the spark plug out. Once you crack it open, you should be able to do it by hand. Still be a little tight because it hasn't been removed. This has about 40,000 miles on it, so I don't think there's anything wrong with the spark plugs, but we're going to test it anyway and look at it. There she is. Yeah, it looks pretty clean. I don't see anything wrong with it. All right, got a nice gap. It's burning pretty clean. Got 40,000 miles on it. It's good shape. All right, so if you were going to replace the spark plugs, this is the time. A little burn marks in there from age. So yeah, I would change it just because of age. This is the NG case. But this car is going to California, going to the West Coast from the East Coast. We'll see if it passes the emissions over there with California. That's pretty strict over there. Otherwise, this nice lady is going to have to sell her car. All right, so if you're going to replace your car, if your spark plugs at this time, you get your new spark plugs. You pick whatever brand you like. I like NG case. Put it right back in there. Straight down. Don't drop it because you don't want to bend the electrode and ruin the gap. So spin it in by hand as much as you can. It should go back in just the same as the way you took it out. If you're having a hard time screwing it in, you've got to cross thread it. And you don't want to do that. I mean, if you mess up the threads on the spark plugs, it's one thing. You mess it up on the cylinder head, the whole top of the engine's got to come out. All right, so now we're just going to tighten it up. People use anti-seize on the threads. You can. If you notice, there's no anti-seize on the original ones. You're not going to find it. All right. So, same thing here. The coil is going to go right back in. Straight. Look at that. Perfect. Going to line it up. Put the 10mm bolt back on. Same thing, people. Should thread in nice and easy. Okay. Believe me, there's plenty of times people could put it in crooked. Get your little 10mm. Tighten it up. It's not going nowhere. You don't have to muscle it in. There's your plug. Put that in. You should be able to hear it click when it goes in. There you go. Perfect. Put that back in. So yeah, you could do all four at the same time. You could do one at a time. That way you don't get confused and lost. All right. So that's it. Spark plug change, coil change, that plug. Now you put this nice little cover back on. All right. 5 bolts. You can't over tighten it because it'll bottom out on these little shoulder bolts. All right. So that's it, people. Just sit it in there. I like to try to catch them a little bit before put a little socket on it. Just spin it on nice and easy. You should feel it start to grab. Put all 5 in before you tighten it up. And it's just basically a dust cover. Some cars still have them, some cars don't. Some people just chuck them. These do not have to be tightened whatsoever. All the way. Hand tight will probably be just as good. If you wanted to, you could just leave it just the way it is, like what I did now. But I'm taking a little ratchet to it. I'll give it a little spin. There you go. Okay. That's it. All right. That's how you change your spark plugs and your ignition coils if you have a problem. All right. There's nothing else to really touch. So the car should run better than what it did before the spark plug change. Okay. All right, folks. That's it. I want to call it a day. Thanks for watching. Ciao.